claim said there's the river because we hear the rumbling, you know. There's a rumbling we hear, you know. Sometimes it shake the house, sometimes it coming like a earthquake and shake all the window like an earthquake.
Welcome back, One Love Jamaica family. I'm back in the rural community of Content here in Manchester, Jamaica. And today we have some good news. If you've been following the 2 previous videos that we made of the community, the water has now finally receded. So as you can see, there's still some amount of stuff left here on the roadway. But if you remember, like this particular area, you couldn't walk here because there was water right here. As you can see, there's no more motor vehicle traffic going through. I think the water would have been receded in the last 2 to 3 days. The water has dramatically drawn down because up until last 7 or 8 days, the water levels were still relatively high. So you can easily assume that now the underground tributaries have now started to work in how it's supposed to work. Now, as you can see, there are some properties that are still underwater to a particular level. So for example, we come to this property here. You can see there's still some amount of water, but it's not as bad. You would have remembered that the water levels went right up for most of these properties, right up to the level of the roof. Now we're going to go a bit further down. All of this area, as you would remember, you could only see what was happening down here if you looked via drone in terms of getting a good angle. Now we're able to go much closer to the properties. Also, you'd have remembered that the residents were also worried about the number of tadpoles they had seen in the water, in which that was more up to that section there where persons weren't able to come down this area. As I noticed, there's some amount of caution tape here. I'm not sure if it's the authorities, but if you look there now, we can still see the tadpoles in the water moving around swiftly. So this is the Scarpio Tavern, which you know is a bar in the community. We're looking at the rear of some of the properties here. Also, I noticed there's a number of flies. Wow, there are even more tadpoles the closer I come down to this area. So we look here. This looked like this was someone's home, or maybe it was a business place, not too sure from the angle that I'm looking at. Looking close again. Remember that when we saw this area, we could see all of those things on top of the water. Now you can see that the water levels, just judging by what I'm seeing here, the water went to at least 12 to 14 feet. Just judging by what I'm seeing here. You can see all the water damage, what it has done to the paint. So you know that to repair these properties is going to be very, very costly. And unfortunately, the night hasn't ended for residents of the year, because it's now you're talking about multi-million dollars of damage in the area. Now also here's some of the plant life that was underwater. A lot of them are now dried up. So as we get closer to another property here in the community of Content, this is another house in which it's more visible. And again, more and more tadpoles. You can see more of this particular property now. This was one of those properties that was covered right up onto the top virtually. So the water was right up where you saw the blocks. You could only see the zinc and a small section over there now. So at the rate that the water seems to be receding, I would think that maybe in another week, judging from what we've seen so far, that the water will be almost at the ground level, which I know that a lot of the persons who have had to forced to abandon their homes would love to basically restart their lives now. Now let us go a little bit further. The roadway is a little bit on the slippery side when you're walking, because there's a lot of silt and some mud on the roadway. Remember, even the other day, this JPS and Partners sign, the water levels reached almost right up to where you can see that light fixture. The Windalca sign was mainly underwater. And here we're looking at some more homes. We can see here that this particular door seems to have been damaged due to the flooding. And here you're looking at some more silt all over, so it's extremely slippery. I have to be very careful of what I'm doing before I slip and hurt myself. We're looking on the inside of this property here, and everything is soaked. You see that there are some instruments here, like some drumming instruments. There's a mattress, there's some boxes, furniture there. The entire floor is now covered in mud. You look at some chairs over there. This entire area now, you can see the water marks go right virtually up to the ceiling. And those fans were also covered because there's some amount of mark on them. I'm not sure if it's individuals who have tried to force this door open in order to see what's on the inside. And again, here's another property that we can take a look at. And I cannot imagine what this means for these homeowners in the area, because I can imagine the repair bill. Here, I do hope that there's some way that the government can assist individuals to basically restart and remake their lives here in the community of Content. Good morning. I see a few residents out here now doing some cleanup. Let's take a look before we go there where the cleanup is going on. Let's go take a look at this property here, which was also covered, as you can see. You look at the building, you see all the water marks here in the building. And you can see that the blocks, just by what is left, all of the green, so that's now forming. You can see that here was covered. Look at this house now. You can see where the water levels were. You know that I'm sure that the owner of this property is surely happy now that the water has receded. Let me make my way back to the main road here in Content. Also, it makes it much easier for individuals now who want to get to communities like Christiana, Albertown, and so on, who usually traverse this very busy roadway, and it makes your traveling time much shorter. I want to take a look down here. The rear of this property, as I said, there are some residents out here now who are doing some cleanup work here of their property here in Content. And we look in this area where we see a lot of water is still here. Banana trees have been, whoever farm back in this area has been totally devastated. Banana trees destroyed. A lot of the plant life totally gone now. And we still have, again, a regular sight here, tadpoles by the thousands. Yeah?
That's pineapple tree. And that, what you call it, trumpet tree.
Yes.
There's a sinkhole.
So there's a sinkhole right in there, sir.
Come up, so the water just come out under the ground and come up and flood the whole place. Yeah, people come and wonder, YouTubers come and wonder where the water coming from. But all the water coming from a sinkhole right by that tree. So when it dry, you can come back and see the sinkhole. That's where all the water come up from.
Oh, so you residents are aware of where all of the EC is coming from?
We see when it just coming up, it's like a sinkhole. And it's when the water just coming up on the hole, so it just flood off and it just travel. Each day we watch it, each day we mark it, we come back and you see up, you know. But there's just a sinkhole down there where it come from.
But normally sinkholes are supposed to take the water in. It's not supposed to put it...
No, it take this water into. All the road water that wash off,
yes.
There's a culvert there that the government, there's a trench, you can see there's a trench, it lead right down to the sinkhole. So all the wastewater that when the rain falls, go empty in the sinkhole. But this water now come up from the sinkhole too. Yeah.
And that's from all of the rain related to Melissa, all of that rain you got before?
Yes, because there's the river, because we hear the rumbling, you know, there's a rumbling here, you know.
Really?
What? Sometimes it shake the house, sometimes it's coming like a
You mean the sound, you mean the water makes a sound?
Like an earthquake and shake all the window like an earthquake, but it's not earthquake. We hear the rumbling sound, you know, we hear it all along the water coming up, we just hear this woo, just a rumbling, frequent rumbling and thing.
So you weren't worried when you heard all of that?
We hear about, and this is not, people give all sorts of false story. This is the third time.
The third time it's happening.
This water is coming up.
Yes.
It's the first time it ever come thus far.
Yeah.
Usually come like, you see that pear tree? You come to the pear tree, it would go around that house, those house, but it never come here. Never come here. It's the first it come here. And it come there so and it go back. 2 times. This third time it come all of this. In the 1970s, it flooded. That was a flood.
Yes.
Where when they cut in the highway, the dirty water washed down, and in a second, all these houses covered with water, with mud.
And you lived here from back then?
I was living there. I was about 12 years old. I was living here, but you never.
So you live here all your life?
Yeah, I'm 60 years, so yeah, most of my life. So that then was a flood.
Yes.
Different from this one. And the people have never get to receive anything because the flood water just come whoop.
Yes.
But by evening, the flood water gone.
Gone, yes.
We could walk in the street and never stay like this. Just by in the morning, it flood, and by the evening, everything gone.
So the first you ever see the water stay for, because it's almost, virtually almost a month, close, about 3 weeks.
Yes, because it's the first ever come I even cross that road. It never crossed the main road. The 2 times it come. This is the 3rd time I tell you. It never come this far. Never come this far.
So how are you feeling now, mentally now, you got through all of this?
It was kind of rough, you know. See the water and people coming and saying that this water will never draw and all, you know, different type of story. But you know, in God, me put my trust. And I'm sorry for those people who, everything, they see right to the roof, everything. They don't really lost everything, you know. Because one thing with this water, it gives you time. You have time to take out your things because you don't just come whoop. Like this moment you may see today, you may see it here, and by tomorrow you see it here. So it gradually just keep coming. It never just come whoops and show the place. No. So all these people here, if they leave anything, maybe they couldn't carry it, or they choose to just leave it.
Yes.
But it's not the water that forced them to leave it, because the water gives them a lot of time to take out their things.
Question, is that building a church?
One
of the buildings,
yes.
Because I noticed some chairs and drumming stuff and so on in there.
Yeah, they leave it?
Yes, when I look in there, I see like the symbol, like they pack it up on something high, but the water come up there and cover it.
Still.
And the chairs them and so on.
This container, everything cover. This house cover. The only this shop here is my husband, my son. This place cover. I tell you, is my house. He just in the yard. That house, he just go to the front of the yard. This house, he reach the window height. You see the window?
Yes.
To the window height. But the rest of these house here, cover.
Well, I'm happy that nobody got hurt or anything like that.
Nobody, no, you wouldn't get hurt. Anybody get hurt, that people would have to come. Because as I tell you, you never get up and see the whole place flood. Each day you get up, you mark it, you know, like with a seat of the banana. And by we get up the next morning, you reach here. And the next morning, you cover the road. I just saw you keep going slowly.
My question to you, if you were one of these residents that live here, would you come back to your property or would you just move?
He just say, you know, move, but sometimes we move too.
Yeah.
You can sometimes like even Mr. Mac out there, he's an old man, spend all his money there and his life. So if he start all over, it's not easy. You don't it. It's hard enough, you know, so you go fix again. Because all these people, the first water, they come back. And the first water, I believe the first one to the next one was 7 years. And the next one to this one, maybe more than 10 years. So we don't know. We don't know if this one gonna take another year, or you gonna take 10 more years. We don't know. That's just God. We don't know. So it's hard if you say you won't come back, you have to move, but move where? Where? And time is so hard, so where?
So you say you had to use an alternative road. Where you had to drive when you leave your home?
You see up there, it's people property. So we just squeeze through their house, and then the road that you see that more content up there.
Yes.
Right. It goes straight right through to Belfield, Chantilly, and it go up. So we just walk through the people property, go out, and so we park our cars up by the people them house and then drive out.
Wow.
Right. That's the route we have to take.
Are you worried about the tadpoles?
No, because the authority says the tadpole is good because it will eat out the mosquitoes.
And they said the water is clean when you see tadpoles.
Right,
yes.
and they said all of them not gonna live. And they said it takes 6 weeks to turn bullfrog.
Yes.
So less than 6 weeks, so they're gonna die.
Yes.
Once there is no water. So you know. And you have some birds. The birds come and eat them out too. So I'm not scared about the tadpole.
Have you driven on this road yet?
No, that's why we clean. Hey, listen, we have. I don't know how this water comes with such mud. Some places we have all 2-inch mud. You see it?
Yes,
mud.
I see it.
So
we
could never, like your shoes, you're lucky you come here because too bad here now. So we couldn't drive, so we clean it up now that we can drive. Well, this evening will be the first we're gonna drive here. So that's why we are cleaning it up.
Thank you very much for talking with me. We're looking at the rear of this property, and you can see that all of these banana trees have been totally destroyed. And I can tell you, boy, this is a hard one for them to take. But as I said, it is good that now the water has gone down. You can see that this house, the water went right up to the top. Boy, this person, I hear that it's a female that owns the house, and I'm hearing that a lot of the persons here have gone to stay with family, or they're staying up at the community center. Now, a workshop is right there, so the same Mrs.Gordon who was talking a while ago, her son owns that business. And she was explaining that what they had to do is in order to leave their home, because they said that the house right there, the water went up to the window, and in order to leave their home, they had to go through other people's property in order to exit. So, and she gave you a long history of the whole issues in the community with the sinkhole that is located just behind there. So yeah, so you can see that the water went up. This is a naseberry tree. Yeah, you can see a lot of the naseberry fruits, especially the ones here now. You can see that they're dying. But the tree, more than likely, once this soil gets more solid, will start to bear. Yes, sir. Good morning. Will start to bear properly. And ironically, I was talking to Mr. Jacobs, and he explained to me that a story about this house, that this lady originally had her house built closer to the roadway, and apparently there was probably 1 or 2 accidents of vehicles ran straight into her home. That time the walls never existed, and now she has moved her. She has basically since then built a house further back on the property and has built up a wall. But guess what happened now? Flooding has come and claimed the property, and would have probably damaged most of the stuff inside her home. So we pray that she's able to recover. Yeah, morning. She's able to recover very soon from this setback. Morning, Chief. Yeah, man. And another suggestion coming from Mr. Jacobs is building much deeper drains, maybe something that's like 5 foot wide and probably 10 foot deep with the railings to protect so that children won't be affected, because he's saying that this area is known for sinkholes and so on. So whenever there's heavy rainfall, you want the water to flow much more heavily through and end up in the sinkholes that's adjacent to the properties on the other side. So you can see this. I think this is one of the first vehicles to drive on this road since the water has gone down, according to the residents. that they have not driven as yet, so they were cleaning up. So we're going to just take a walk back. And also, the building which I was looking into earlier on is actually a church. So I was wondering why there's a drum. I saw a drumming equipment and so in this here is actually a church, and there was some amount of furnishings and equipment left inside. So yes. So yeah, things are looking up from one aspect, even though on the other side there's still a lot of things to worry about. You know, hopefully soon all the water will be gone so that persons can start to clean up and restart their lives here in the community of Content in Manchester. So as I'm coming down the road now, I see that there are a few Christian individuals that are walking and praying on the roadway. They're praying, you know, for some kind of divine, you know, coverage. It says repent, return, rebuild, and they're praying for residents of the community. Good morning, good morning. You know, we are a very strong nation when it comes to our Christian faith.
Father, in the name of Jesus, we pray.
Yes, so persons are praying for Content. I'm going to take a closer look at this section here. We can see the Jamaican flag painted on. This seems to be a water tank here in the community of Content. So this must have been supplying the tavern or the bar, and there's also a wholesale to the back there. Well, I can tell you this cleanup is something that I can't imagine how much time this cleanup will take. But you know, people just have to start one step at a time. But One Love Jamaica family, you know, I'm just here to, you know, give you an update. At least we now know that the situation with the water is that it has receded, majority of it. There's just a little left, and and now we have discovered that there's a sinkhole to the rear of the property. That's where all of the water came up from.
Mrs.Gordon.
You know, the kind of harrowing story that she had experienced while the water was coming up, the rumbling. She said that at one point it even shaked our home, which was somewhat frightening. It almost felt like a earthquake, using her words.
As we move forward from the devastation of Category 5 Hurricane Melissa, Jamaica stands once again at a powerful crossroads. But if there's one thing this island has always shown the world, it's that we never stay down for long. From the people rebuilding together, to the innovators rising with new ideas, to the incredible stories of resilience emerging from every corner, Jamaica is already writing the next chapter. And right here in the community of Content, we're documenting that journey in real time. This space isn't just a channel, it's a movement, a place where Jamaicans at home and abroad come together to share, learn, support, and uplift each other. As the nation rebuilds, the road ahead will have its challenges, yes, but also tremendous opportunities. Stronger infrastructure, smarter preparation, more united communities, a Jamaica determined to build back better than before. So stay with us as we highlight the recovery, the breakthrough, the heroes, and the transformation. Jamaica is rebuilding, reimagining, and rising. Communities like Content will shape the future. Viewers and subscribers, I just want to take a few seconds to big up My Eyes Are Yours YouTube channel. I'm just encouraging persons to go over there and subscribe to his channel. This gentleman is very passionate about YouTube, and he's doing his best to improve in every aspect that he can. Trust me, we had a very touching conversation today about YouTube, and I can tell you that he's one for the future. So just remember, go over there, like, share, and subscribe, and please watch his videos.